Is,
Steven Seminara? Okay.
April 24th, 2024 is a Wednesday. This is our monthly meeting of the Lawrence County Prison Board. At this time, I call the meeting to order. Is it roll?
Yes. Commissioner Kennedy?
Here.
District Attorney Lavatusa?
Here.
Judge Motto?
Here.
Controller Preston?
Here.
Sheriff Valero?
Here.
Commissioner Sanada?
Here.
Commissioner Vogler?
Here.
As we do have a quorum. Everyone's indicated they are here, so the meeting will be officially called to order. And I see Attorney Medora is here also on behalf of the county. And as per our usual agenda, item number 2 is visitor comments. Now, for those visitors that are present, we do have 2 sections. So if you do wish to make a comment, you have the opportunity now to make a comment, or you could wait until the conclusion of new business, and then there's another section. So I have some visitors here, it looks like. Anyone wish to make any comments? No? Okay, seeing no comments from the visitors, I'll move to line item number 3. This is the approval of the minutes and notice of the executive session from March 22nd. And the minutes that I believe everyone received in their packet from that same day. That was the special meeting we had on Friday. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes of the special meeting that we had on March 22nd, 2024? If everyone has had an opportunity, are there any questions related to those minutes? Seeing no questions, can I have a motion to approve? Motion to approve. Motion's been made. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second's been made. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Minutes have been approved. Population report, is item number 4. It's a review of our population report, personnel report, and also I'll always at this point supplement with our revenue collected after we finish your report.
Yes, sir.
So please, population report.
We have 157 inmates at the jail. We've got 12 inmates at other facilities. Number of inmates from out of county at the facility are 14. We've got a total of 33 females over at the jail. We've got 2 juveniles. We've got 3 females from Washington County, and we have 5 females from Mercer County.
The individuals that are Lawrence County residents that we're housing at other facilities, is that costing the county any money?
No, sir.
So those 13 individuals, that is, no bills are coming to us. Okay. With regard to the out-of-area inmates, to date, I have from the jail, and I'm assuming Controller Preston behind it, you're receiving these monies or auditing these. Okay. The total collected as of today, April 24th, 2024, Lawrence County has collected $348,070. That is to date as the money that's actually come in. Now, we have, it's marked on my sheet as anticipated revenue, but it's not necessarily anticipated for February or March because it's already incurred. We do have a couple days left remaining in April, and then we have a projection in May. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and those numbers, what they actually total, I'm gonna give 2 numbers. The one is the actually incurred, that we are expecting to receive those monies. And that is $374,370 is outstanding. Then we have our projection for May, which is really based upon, the events that have happened before. And we're looking at roughly another $68,700. So the total anticipated, combining those 2, is $443,000. Now, that could go up, that could go down, but the firm number in terms of money that we are owed is $374,370. So there's been no indication that these counties are not paying or not going to pay. They've paid in the past, so I think it's reasonable to assume that since we're housing their inmates, they will continue to make those payments. That, when it's paid in full, at least up to this moment, would take us over $700,000 in revenue to the county housing out-of-area inmates. Does anyone have any questions about the population report, personnel report, or this financial report that I just provided?
District Attorney, as far as the personnel report goes, we've hired 11 new full-time officers, and we hired 1 part-time officer.
And I believe, do we still have a vacancy for a captain position?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so 1 vacancy for captain. And, okay. Do the people that we've hired, are there, have they already gone through the classes? Or are they pending the class?
8 of them have already completed the DOC training at Mercer. Mercer County has worked with us very well in getting our individuals trained. And on top of that, we have 120 hours of shadowing that we have to complete with them. Most of them are at the end of that training, that shadowing point.
Great.
So I still have 3 full-time new officers that I'm going to be sending to Mercer County, and along with some of the other officers that have the requirement to complete DOC training.
And how frequently does Mercer County put on this DOC training?
They do basically they do the DOC training for us pretty much anytime we ask.
It's based upon your relationship with their.
Well, our relationships.
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate the contacts and all the hard work you put in throughout your entire career and serving the Lawrence County benefits.
Well played.
So thank you. Any further questions about the population report, personnel report, or financial report? With no further questions, can I get I know we always debate this, but let's just do it. Can we get a motion to approve the population report, personnel report, and financial report that was provided?
I move we accept them.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second's been made. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 5 is the approval of bills. The packet of bills has been, the listing of bills has been included in everyone's packet with an individual breakdown. Does anyone have any questions related to the outstanding bills prior to approval? I see none, but I do have a question. We're going to talk about it on new business also, but the fire or the 911 connectivity with the fire suppression system, with our alert system, is that, did we already incur that bill, or is this not, okay, so it's not in this listing. Okay, all right. And like I said, we'll get to that in new business. Well, if there's no other questions as to the bill, can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. These bills have been approved. Old business. Are there any matters of old business? I guess one. I can, as far as I can comment on it, the Lawrence County District Attorney's Office is continuing its investigation of the events that happened at the jail 2 weeks ago. The detectives are investigating along with assistance from the Newcastle Police Department. I can't provide any details related to the investigation, what we discovered, what we're pursuing, but I can say that at the conclusion of the investigation, there will be a disclosure of everything that we have done, not just on behalf of the District Attorney's Office in terms of whether or not charges are filed, but also with regard to the internal security at the jail. The integrity of the security procedures and protocols is important for the general public to be aware of. And there will be a full debriefing to the prison board, and probably also give it to the Newcastle News if they're willing to write an article on it for public dissemination. Judge, anyone else? I would say, why don't you take it? No one's going to say anything if you do it, too.
That's why I'll get really upset when a friend goes off to work, because I'm just as guilty.
Well, I just want you to know that if you had taken it, we would have shut off the camera real fast. But that truly is it as far as old business goes, at least from my perspective. Is there any other old business that anyone would like to discuss? Okay. Moving on to new business. Ward, update?
I have no other new business to discuss at this time.
Okay.
Everyone's still available. You want to share?
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to share that in the facility, there are several different grant programming that is done. And the updates that I have on that from the Intercept and Reentry Program for the quarterly reports, just to let everybody know that we do have the outpatient and intensive programming, as well as the medication assisted programming that we do at our facility. And right now, for the quarterly report, we do have 10 offenders that are using Subutex, 24 on methadone maintenance, extended release Vivitrol. There are 3 offenders. And then there are also non-medication therapies that some of our inmates are participating in, groups and individual therapies, 13 offenders there. I have a lot more detail if it is of interest to anybody else, and I can have the report available. But these are things that are done at the jail, along with different types of programming that go along with that, along with mental health, and we work closely with the drug and alcohol agencies. Our reentry program is something that is new, working with the counselors that are there, just adding the additional programming that is available for inmates. And it is actually at the state level something that the state is certainly in favor of. I go back to my time at CCAP and being there, and I was glad to hear then that Lawrence County did receive a reentry grant. We have a good team together. We're working out in the community and trying to make sure that when we do release our inmates, that they do not come back or reoffend, or for some odd reason do not have their medication or housing. We do try to work well within the community to make sure that those needs are met for them to reduce the recidivism rates for Lawrence County.
And that's obviously the purpose of all programming,
Yes.
is to try and lower the recidivism rates. So
Yes.
we don't have repeat offenders. With regard to the programs that you mentioned, the methadone, the medical treatment that the individuals are receiving, those are treatment modalities that are targeting people that have substance abuse issues. Is that
Correct. Correct.
And then the mental health component.
Yes.
Do we have counselors at the facility that provide mental health services?
Yes.
And inmates have an opportunity to meet with those individuals?
Yes.
Is there a fatherhood program still being run?
Yes. It's part of what I wanted to also bring up is the fact that we do have so many different programs that the community may not be aware of. We do have a fatherhood program. We have different group sessions that the Drug and Alcohol Agency does. We have different types of religious support groups that they do come in. Bible studies come in. Any time that there is someone that requires something special, those needs try to be met for them. So there is a lot of interaction with the community that maybe people are not aware of. Right now, we also do have 3 polycoms that are up and running. So we do have those available. That there are times that it's almost like a revolving door of inmate movement back and forth. We try to be as accommodating as we can, but with as much movement as there is that is happening, that is going on, that there are some times that we do have to delay some of the outside programming or not have a group or a session. I know the fatherhood program, especially with Pastor Young, he is so accommodating and so good about it that there's times that he's been there and we've had to say, unfortunately, is it okay if we cancel for today? And he is always very gracious about that. But those things do happen. You have emergency hearings that have to happen. So we do want to be available for the judges as well as magistrates to be able to have those hearings done, as well as those that are already scheduled. Just this morning, we had 13 that were going out for different court hearings that were happening. There were 2 that were scheduled for polycoms. two this afternoon that were coming in for polycoms. And then we do have new intakes and releases from different facilities happening at the same time as well.
I think, and I certainly don't speak for the court system, but my observation is that the court system is very appreciative of the Polycom system because it makes everyone involved in the court process,
Yes.
makes it a lot easier. Now, it doesn't make it easier for you guys.
I will definitely say no. I will emphatically say no.
And on behalf of the court system, I say thank you, but you're gonna continue doing it.
Yes,
because
we are.
It's really saving a lot of time and resources, in the court system itself, so
Without a
thank you.
doubt.
And also, you mentioned that there are religious personnel coming in, and I believe there are different denominations as well.
Yes. We try to be as accommodating as we can with that, even as far as religious materials coming in. We do try to do that.
Any other new business from the administration at the jail? No. An item of new business that I marked down, it was something that we had talked about briefly, but it was about pre-screening for employment, the use of the CVSA. So the Lawrence County District Attorney's Office, we've trained two police officers, actual 20 police officers, to use a device that is they're certified voice stress analysts. And we did some research into the efficacy of it. And what the studies are showing is that the voice stress analysis is roughly 2% more accurate than a polygraph examination. And so we sent two detectives about a year ago, and trained them in this. It's what the device is. It's very similar to a polygraph. It's actually a little bit scary at times because you're not hooked up the way, a polygraph, you're hooked up. They put the thing in your finger to check they're measuring your pulse. They're also checking the amount of fluid, the sweat during the test. There's all kinds of other factors, but with the voice stress analysis, it is a computer that is just listening to you. And the operator is recording your interview, or doesn't even have to be recorded at the time. You can take a recording of you and then later play it in. We've been using it for criminal investigations. Now, it cannot be used for probable cause. It can't be in an affidavit, but it's used a lot in private companies for employment screening. And one of the things that was discussed was, can we make this part of the employment process? That when someone interviews, when we ask all the sensitive questions about their background, they would obviously have to sign a waiver of consent form. But is this something that the prison board would like to consider? I'm just stating it today. I don't think the decision or a vote or anything should be made. I think you need more information. But I would like, if the prison board is willing to possibly consider this, then I'd like to provide you additional information, and then we can take action or have a further discussion at the next prison board. Is that acceptable to the regular prison board members?
Yeah, we'd love to have them in the courtroom.
Me too. Which is why I never speak to my detectives anymore. Everything is in writing. Okay, well then, absent any type of objection, turn your door. I know there may be some employment issues here or legal consequences.
Not really. If you sign the waiver, it's not dissimilar to the way the DEA hires their agents or FBI. As long as you sign a waiver, you can utilize that as long as they're aware that they're being analyzed in that way.
We have received from the company, the detectives have to go for recertification every year. They just came back in February, whenever it was. But they provide us all the documentation, so I can get that over to your office so you can take a look at what it looks like. But I will get more information from the prison board, and then we can discuss it the next meeting. The fire alarm situation. Have we remedied?
If I may.
And just so everyone is
Yes.
aware, is everyone aware that there was, the jail ran a test, and there was a disconnect between, the notification directly from the jail to the 911 center there was some sort of disconnect and they were not receiving the call. Now, other people were receiving the call, the 911 center specifically was not receiving it, and the jail ran a test to see, they failed the test.
Right.
So where are we with that?
This was something that our maintenance director had been working on because the system was old. Again, the building ready for upgrades and different things. So we had received the bid on it. We didn't realize that connect was not being made. The alarm went off within the facility. We called the 911 center to let them know that it was not an emergency. We were taking care of it and they had not received the call. That's what prompted the information, fast forwarding it to get it done because they were not receiving the call. We do have it posted in the event of that emergency. Our booking department has it in
Central.
bold and in central. All of the officers are being verbally told that in the event that there is alarm in that emergency situation, first point is to get in touch with our 911 center to make sure that's taken care of. We do have the bid that's there. I passed that along in that email to you as well as the commissioner's office. Mr. Vanasco is aware of it and that is coming up for discussion for funding.
Did everyone receive this? Did all of the other prison board members receive?
Is that the
This is the bid?
bid? No,
Okay.
that was sent to you and
Yeah.
Mrs. Vanasco.
So I think what we should do is it should be sent to all of the prison board members and then we can, at our next meeting, or if we have to have an emergency meeting. See, it's not as big of a concern at the jail because you man the facility 24/7 and there's no unoccupied areas.
Right.
And so there's a constant, the military needs the fire watches where there are you guys walking around with fires. Well, that's the whole jail. Your guards are on duty
Yes.
all the time. So it's less of a concern, but obviously we want to make sure that all the infrastructure is linked together. But I think that this can be sent out to all the prison board members and we can discuss it, put on the agenda and discuss it at our next meeting. Okay. Will you send that to everyone?
Absolutely. And if I could just add from something previous,
Sure.
we were talking about the medically assisted
Treatment
treatment
programs.
programs. We do have representatives from Prime Care here. I don't want to leave them out of the loop since it is Prime Care that does, they actually do receive the medications. They're a number one part of this programming that happens. They do go into, the inmates do go into the medical area and they are observed when they do get their MAT meds. So we couldn't do it without our Prime Care representatives that are here. Also.
I think Mr. Luffy and his organization, if you just look at the history of how long we've been with you, is really a testament to what we think of your organization and your people. I'm not necessarily speaking for the entire prison board, but I'm sure they echo their sentiments that we do appreciate everything you guys are doing in there. And you don't have an easy job, and we are aware of that. So thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Sure, and we also do have, Mr. Luffy is leaving us. This will be his last meeting he will be at, and
So we'll be terminating the contract.
if Jason doesn't do a good job, then, but if, I don't know if you wanted to introduce.
Good afternoon, and I appreciate the opportunity. My name's Brent Babington. I'm the president, one of the three owners of the organization of Prime Care Medical. We've enjoyed a very long partnership here in Lawrence County, and I've been to prison boards from time to time. I did want to come up and introduce Jason Triplett. Jason is an RN local, will be taking over the reins of health service administrator at the Lawrence County facility. I am here to inform you that we are promoting Brian from the health service administrator to our corporate trainer. Brian has, I'd be remiss to not mention Brian in announcing Jason being your new leader at the medical department. But Brian's been with Prime Care for 17 years. All of those years here in Lawrence County, leading the medical delivery system here inside the walls of Lawrence County Correctional Facility. He's done a phenomenal job for the county. He's done a phenomenal job for Prime Care Medical. So I want to thank Brian publicly. for the work that he has done. I also want to welcome Jason with open arms. Brian's not going too far away. He is still with the organization. He is still a local boy. So he will still be around and as needed, be available. But Jason is going to be taking the reins, and we have full confidence in Jason and his abilities as a registered nurse to take over the services. So no interruption in services. Things are going as well as can be. And yeah, if anyone has a question, I'm happy to answer it.
That's great news. Congratulations. That's a promotion. That's fantastic. Well, you know, my comments were sincere because I didn't even know who you were.
That's quite all right.
Worked out. Okay, well, we certainly look forward to working with you and thank you very much.
Yep.
Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah, congratulations.
And one more,
Sure.
reminded by Deputy Warden Simmons, just for clarification, we still do get the audible alarm within the facility with the fire alarm system. The only disconnect is that connection to,
It was the direct
And I'm
signal
thinking-
going from the jail
Yes.
right to 911.
yes, so
But phone calls and everyone, radios,
Yes.
everything else.
everything else is good, so
Work, yeah.
thank you for that.
Yeah, no, we don't want to make it
We
sound
don't
like,
want- Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, emergency services aren't notified.
Yes.
Should there be an issue, but okay. Any other new business? Agenda item number 8, visitor comments. We're revisiting this in case there's any other comments. I see none. It takes us to executive session. Is there a need for executive session? I would move for executive session.
I'll second that, assume it's for personnel matters, Mr.
Yes,
Chairman.
only personnel matters, as we do not want to run afoul of the Sunshine Act, which, turning the door, would certainly rein me in. So,
I will gladly second your motion.
thank you. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? So, yeah, we'd like to close this. We have to shut this off and we'll disconnect here. Should we let Mr. Bornero? No.
Yeah, we should. Will there be a vote?
I can hit it.
Can you
No.
Yeah.
There will not be a vote. And I think for the purposes